Within the last 3 hours, the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction released its latest retention report for schools across the state.
And that data from across North Carolina's 115 public school districts shows vacancies that are down. Less teachers are leaving than years before as well. WCNC Charlotte's Autumn Bracey joining us in the studio to get more on these numbers. Autumn, you spoke with educators directly. What do they say these trends reveal when it comes to keeping teachers in the classroom for students?
Well, Vanessa and Colin, one big takeaway is if North Carolina wants to become one of the top education systems in the country, leaders say more needs to be done. They say that starts with stronger support, not just for teachers, but for school administrators as well. Without that investment, they say it's going to be hard to reach some of their long-term goals. Data from the State of the Teaching Profession and School Administrator report show vacancies went down in North Carolina public schools, averaging about 7.4% from the previous 7.6% the year before, while attrition of teachers leaving the industry slightly increased to 10.11% from 9.88% from March 2024 to March 2025.
The number of beginning teachers who leave, who only stay a year or two, is always a concern to me, I think that should be the primary result of this report every year is how are we dealing with that number?
Thomas Tomberlin with the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction stresses while new programs are being created to recruit educators, the state must also focus on other ways to attract and retain teachers. Numbers show in 2025, for every 5 prospective teachers who entered North Carolina educator preparation programs, only 2 completed the program and were ready to teach in the classroom. At the same time, 8 teachers left the profession.
What we're saying is folks that are directly coming out of our prep programs and heading straight into the classrooms, our North Carolina public classrooms, they represent about 2 or 3 of every 8 teachers that leave. And so we have to make up the difference in other places.
Amy Tyson, organizer with NC Teachers in Action, says educators say strategic actions are needed to improve those numbers overall.
We're not addressing anything to do with the lack of teachers in the SPED, math, and science worlds. We're also not talking about how teachers leaving are disproportionate to different places. And what I mean by that is teachers in high poverty schools tend to leave at a higher rate than teachers in higher income schools.
Ty says the organization is calling on state leaders to ensure there are enough qualified teachers in classrooms.
So what we're hoping to do is, again, to continue to bring attention to the idea that we don't have a state budget, so we can't do anything to help students. We can't do anything to help teachers. How are we going to address these issues to make teacher retention even better?
NC Teachers in Action plans to hold some demonstrations across the state this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Organizers say the demonstrations are aimed at calling for stronger support for teachers in public education across the state. Vanessa?